Welcome to Ocala, Florida, where scenic horse country meets new construction comfort. Picture driving past rolling green pastures and pulling into your very own modern home with payments under $1,900 a month. Inside, open spaces flow with natural light, quartz counters shimmer beneath soft pendant lighting, and a private lanai invites you to unwind as the sun sets over peaceful oak trees. This is affordable Florida living with all the upgrades, a home that feels luxurious, attainable, and move-in ready. Let's begin. Before we dive into the home tour, I want to talk about my VIP list. There's a QR code on the screen, also my website. If you visit www.jodenny.com, JODENNY, you'll get access to the VIP list where you can just put your criteria and I can just start sending properties your way as soon as they hit the market. That way you can just see these awesome homes right when they hit the market. Right over here is going to be the amenity center, and what's interesting is the home is that second one with the red square or lawn sign or whatever. It's the smaller one, not the two-story one. You're walking distance from the amenity center. Now these communities, some of them have community mailboxes where you're not gonna have like the mailbox in front of your house. But I honestly don't remember the last time I was excited about going to the mailbox. See, most of the things coming to our house is Amazon 2 or 3 times a day, and they'll go straight to your door. So I don't really ever get any good news from things in the mailbox other than bill collectors and like spammy things. But still, you're walking distance because this community has a long way to go. And as you can see, they're gonna be building all the way back there as well. So those people are gonna have to drive to the mailbox back there, where you, right where my car is at, right across the street, you could just basically walk to the mailbox. This is gonna be your amenity center coming soon. Pool, cabana, dog park, and playground. Last time I was here, I don't think the playground was up yet, but they have made some progress. I do see the playground up yet. I see it now up. I do see this little center here. You can hang out with your neighbors or invite some family over to hang out by the pool. There goes your little playground. There goes your pool. They're making good progress on it. Playground here with some swings, little tot lot, and then it looks like you got the dog park back over here. Yep, there goes the little dog parks. So little dogs can run around there, or big dogs, they can run around too. This video is gonna be a little bit longer than most of those YouTube videos you see from those Florida realtors. We're gonna do a complete walkthrough of the home. We're gonna break down the numbers. I'm also a mortgage broker as well, so I can help you with financing. So we're gonna talk about the numbers, the special rate the builder has. We're gonna talk about some of the local employers in the area as well. If it's your first time on this channel, my name is Joe Denny. I'm a Florida realtor and mortgage broker. Since 2018, I'm doing the real estate. Mortgages, more for like 2 or 3 years. Originally, I'm from the Bronx, New York, and then we moved out here to Florida. I first lived in Ocala, then I went to Orlando, then I went to Kissimmee, then we bought a house in St. Cloud, lived in Claremont, East Orlando, Pine Hills, Orlando, West Orlando. So I've moved a lot, so I know about a lot of different areas in Florida, and I'm willing to go the distance for my clients. 3 past contracts. We went to Lehigh Acres, Weeki Wachee, Brooksville. So we're not scared to go the distance to find you your dream home, whereas some other realtors might be very specific in their zones that they operate in, and they don't like to leave those small radiuses. I'll take it. I'll take you all over Florida. All right, let's start right at the beginning. Dining room, right when you walk into the property. You got a split layout here where your laundry room is going to be tucked back over here, and You're gonna have like your 2-car garage over here. Your dimensions in this 2-car garage are gonna be 17.62 by 19.97. So you have your 2-car garage. There's your water heater back there with a little barrier here to protect it. Sometimes they don't put that, and sometimes you might back up a little bit too, back and hit the water heater. You don't want to do that. Garage door opener. Surprisingly, some builders don't include that, but in this home, move-in ready, you're gonna have your garage door opener there. You're gonna have your smart keypad there for your door, washer and dryer. You got the Whirlpool, cute little window there. And with this package of it being move-in ready, you're gonna have the blinds already installed. The only thing you gotta worry about is getting the blinds installed on the sliding glass, so you can pretty much do whatever you want there with that. For the most part, you're gonna have the blinds throughout the house, the washer and dryer, garage door opener. So this one is truly, truly move-in ready. All right, so my measuring tools battery just died. I guess I've been using it a lot. So for the rest of this tour, no more measuring, but if you truly need the layout, this is the Alex floor plan, and I'm sure if you go online, ALLEX, there's a bunch of like floor plans online. All right, so we got one of the rooms over here. We're working with 3 beds, 2 baths, but we'll talk about that later. We'll go over the pricing, the incentives, the taxes. We'll go over all the numbers. You're gonna have a closet right there. Let's give you guys an idea. Nice little closet there. Some storage here for us Northerners with our coats. This could be like our coat closet over here. Bedroom number 2 is going to be right next to bedroom number 1, which is cool because the primary is going to have some privacy on the other end of the property. There goes closet. Another closet right over here. So a bunch of storage. This could be used for like linen or towels and stuff. This one has the tub, upgraded countertops. You got the mirror. Nothing too crazy. You got that tub insert back there. We're shopping with saving some money right now. So we're not gonna have the highest end finishes when we're trying to save some money. We're talking about payments under $1,900 a month. Rent in the area is more expensive than that for a brand new house like this. We got your kitchen, combination of dark and light colors. Could use a backsplash. Builder's not gonna do that for you. But you have the appliances included. You have the Whirlpool, refrigerator, microwave, stove, range, oven, whatever you wanna call it, dishwasher. And you got the nice flooring throughout the house, carpet in the rooms. Here's your pantry. You got some nice space there for the snacks and the food in the pantry. And then we have your living room here. Let me know in the comments if you guys are a fan of this like split layout versus the new traditional open floor plan where everything's all exposed in one area. This gives you a kind of like a separation, and it still kind of flows open through that area there, but that's what this is. They do have open floor plans as well in this community where everything's in one, but this is one of their split ones. Lanai. Get a lanai. Now, it's not going to be the biggest lot in the world. This is going to be your lanai right there. I like how in this community the separation between the houses, you have some good space in between the houses, because in some of these HOA communities the homes are too close to each other, but not over here. You got some good space in between. And let's check out this side. Feels like a little less space over here though on this side, a little too close. And I like how they already got the back fenced, so you could just finish off like your size of your fence and possibly just finish out the front also. All right, this is your primary. Don't got my measuring tool, so I can't tell you what it is. I mean, I could look it up, but I'm recording right now. But this is your primary. You're gonna have your closet here, bathroom there. You're only gonna have a shower, and the toilet's exposed. You don't have like a privacy door. But again, we're trying to save some money here. If the budget's a little bit higher, we can get you a property that has like the privacy there. got the dual sink set up over here. Massive mirror right over here. You do not have a closet in here for like linen or anything, but this is your walk-in closet for the master bedroom. Let's talk a little bit about the numbers of the property, some data of the property itself, and like what's in the area as far as like employers. And let's go over the home buying process a little bit and give you some tips as well. Since I'm in the mortgage industry as well, if you need your own scenario ran, I could shop up to 61 different lenders. A lot of the times with these bigger builders, they have preferred lenders built in where they have some sort of partnership with that lender and they'll give you better deals that way. And most of the time it's because they own or have ownership in those mortgage companies as well. So you don't have to use their lenders to buy the house, but certain specific incentives that they'll give you are only with their preferred lender. But I've had it where we can use an outside lender to help you buy your house, but they won't match certain deals. So if loyalty matters to you, then use the lender that you got. But if a deal matters, most of the time people are going to go for the deal and they'll switch over to like the builder's lender. We're going to talk about a scenario at a 3.99% FHA. You can buy this home with many different loan scenarios. You got VA, 100% financing. Depending on if this is still a USDA area, you got conventional, you got FHA, you got, which is what we're going to do now, you got 5% conventional, 3% conventional, 10, 20%. There's so many different loan scenarios. There's even loan scenarios where you don't even have to verify, like prove income. It's called DSCR, where if you have a substantial down payment and a decent credit score, I can get you into a home like this as an investment property, as long as the rents can kind of balance out with the mortgage payments. This community is called Emerson Point. And you already saw, we got some amenities in here that are still being built. You got the playground, the pool, the little, you're gonna have the cabana there. They're gonna have the dog parks and nothing too crazy. It's gonna be a pretty low HOA there from DR Horton. This model that we just toured today is the Alex with 2 L's. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage with just over 1,500 square feet. Remember, we're doing a series now for the end of the year where we're trying to find ways to save you money. There's so many other homes out there down the street that can max out your debt to income and you'll love it and everything. And then when that honeymoon phase finishes and it's like you've been there a month or two or a year or two and things just don't feel as new as they did when you first walked that house, you're gonna be like, man, I wish I would have bought the less expensive house so I can go out and live life more. But if you're printing money or you're in an industry where you're just making a lot of money, then none of this matters. Then just go to the videos that I do with the $1 million properties. But I'm here to help everyone out. I want to make sure that we find good deals for everyone out there. And this is a really good one. You're under $1,900 a month. Lot size, you got a small lot, 0.15. Currently priced at $268,990 for this home. Taxes and insurance. So these are just estimates. If you want your actual number of what your tax will be, you got to call the tax collector. I'm not a tax collector and I don't do insurance either. This $2,400 a year number is very conservative. It could be lower because it's new construction. When you look at a mortgage, right, it's broken into PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Now, the principal and interest on a mortgage is going to be, I want to say a fixed number, but the combined number might seem fixed, but there's something happening each month where at the beginning of the loan, in your PITI, let me show you guys right here, PITI. So principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. These two here follows an amortization schedule where basically it starts with the interest being a higher number and then the principal being a lower number. So what's happening every single month, the scale is tipping little by little so that those numbers might meet in the middle. And then of your mortgage payments, after that point, more is going towards your principal than your interest. And you know, they're for profit. The banks want to make their money first. So it's interesting that, and don't quote me on this, you could do your own research. I think it takes like 22 years. It's like a crazy number of time where those numbers finally meet. So for example, on a $2,000 P&I, principal and interest, I'm just throwing numbers out there. If the interest is $1,900 in the principal and what goes to the principal is like $100, and then the next month, $101, $1,899, they're slowly gonna meet at some point, and then more of your monthly payment is gonna go towards your principal later on. And I think that's around 22 years. So while these numbers combined might stay, let's say, fixed, there's a reason why your mortgage doesn't stay fixed for 30 years. And a lot of people don't know that. The first thing is the taxes. And second thing is the insurance. The insurance is gonna be at its lowest, most likely when the house is brand new, but insurance changes over time. All those things that are happening in the area, like all these free roofs being given that jack up the prices of insurance, and then the lawsuits that the insurance companies have to go through because the free roof vendors tell you to sue the insurance company. Things like that, and a lot of different things like natural disasters, all those different things can cause insurance to go up. So although your principal and interest combined might be a fixed number, your insurance might fluctuate. And I don't think it's gonna go up and down. I think it could steadily go up steadily. Taxes are another thing. You look on Zillow right now on realtor.com or homes.com, and you probably see the taxes on this and you're like, oh wow, it's only like $300 for the year. Well, that's because that was the taxes on just the land itself. Now that there's a building on there, when the property gets sold, those taxes will get reassessed. What I do in this area is I use like a 1.45% estimate. I went on the Ocala's Marion County Property Appraiser website, where you can do that right now, Property Appraiser Tax Estimator, and just type in what part of Ocala you're looking in, or what part of Marion County, what's the purchase price, and if you're gonna homestead the property or not. Homestead is when you're gonna use it as a primary residence. You get a small tax break, but you'll also get some added protection as well when you homestead a property. So PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, all those combined are gonna equal your mortgage payment every month. And although you're gonna hear things like fixed rate, like for example, this is a fixed rate, 3.99% with the preferred lender if you qualify for 30 years, the number itself of your total mortgage can change over time. So let's go over this scenario. We have 3.99 on a 3.5% down payment, which is an FHA loan. That's basically you take the purchase price and you multiply it by 3.5%, and it's $94.15. That's what's gonna be due out of pocket for you to buy a home like this using an FHA loan. If you're short on funds and you can't get it from family as a gift, your 401k, then I can go and look in down payment assistance options for you. There's some down payment assistance options that can help you if you're a first-time home buyer to help you with that. Now, it's not free. There are different programs, but most of them aren't free. They're second loans that get attached to the property. Some are forgivable, some aren't. But if you have the money, don't just go and try to find a program that you may not need, because it might end up costing you more money later on, whether it's a higher interest rate or a second mortgage. So it might not be beneficial if you don't need it to try to get that down payment assistance. Assuming 3.5% down, which is $94.15, it leaves your loan amount at $259,575. When we talk about closing costs, those are the fees that are associated with buying a property. So when you're buying a home, right, you want to get a home inspection, you got to get a home appraisal. The inspector's job is to figure out if the condition of the property is good. And this is a brand new home, but it's man-made. So I 100% recommend you invest $300 to $500 to get the home inspected. That way, when they find issues throughout the property, we can hand it over to the supervisor of the construction company so they kind of address those issues. They do have warranties after the fact, but I'm telling you from experience that chasing down a warranty claim for weeks is not as easy as telling them that I will not sign at closing until these things are fixed. I don't know what it is, the pressure that gets put on them, but there's a difference there. Back to closing costs. You got lien search, title fees, transaction fees, origination fees from the lender, builder fees. When you think about all those different fees, it comes out to about 3.5 to 4% of the purchase price. So in this scenario, your closing costs could float around $11,000. But here's the good news. When you use their preferred lender, most of the time, most of these builders are gonna help you with some closing cost incentive, where this one might give you $10,000 to $15,000. Now, here's where it gets confusing. You're not allowed to use any builder's closing cost incentive to then push over the remaining to your pocket to keep it at closing, or even towards your down payment. There's a minimum statutory amount that has to come out of your pocket in this scenario, and it's your down payment. or unless you're doing a down payment assistance program. So even if they offer you like 15, 20,000, it's not that now it's going to start covering some of your down payment. You're still going to be out of pocket around $94.15 on this house here, which puts the total of down payment and closing costs to around $20,000. Minus the builder incentives, you'll be around $9,400. So principal and interest, that $1,238. Those are the numbers combined of like more of it going towards the interest, a little bit of it going towards the principal, but that shifts every single month. And if you go online right now and Google an amortization schedule and just type in these numbers, for example, Google will show you like an amortization schedule of like when the numbers eventually meet and when the contribution towards your principal exceeds the contribution towards the bank's interest. So property taxes is just an estimate there. Insurance is going to be lower than that. You're probably going to be around $70, $80 for a new construction home. And then on this loan, you have mortgage insurance. So this one shows $1,943, but because the insurance is going to be lower, this will be under $1,900 a month. So these are some of the top employers in Ocala and Marion County. You got Advent Health Ocala, Publix, Lockheed Martin, FedEx, E1, College of Central Florida, Marion County Public Schools, World Equestrian Center as well. This is a sample credit plan right over here. So if you're looking to possibly get your credit ready for a home, here's a quick 60-day plan. Pay down all your credit cards under 30%, resolve all your small collections under 500, avoid any new inquiries for 45 days before applying. Don't go and buy the furniture before you buy the house. Don't go buy a new car before you're buying a house. And use a credit simulator where your lender to find the fastest path to a 620. It seems to be the sweet spot where we're getting like good rates and great incentives right around 620. But we've closed homes with credit as low as 550. It gets very expensive below 580 because then the down payment itself starts at like 10%. Plus there's added fees like points. So the closing costs are more expensive. So it does cost more under 620, but it is possible if you have cash to potentially buy a house. So recheck your credit report on all three bureaus before their pre-approval. Now let's talk about a little tip that some people don't know when they're buying a home. If you were to put an offer on this property with a contract close date of, let's say, December 1st, what's gonna happen is for the rest of December, the bank is calculating a prorated amount of interest to charge you for you living in the home. Earlier in the month, your closing costs are gonna be higher because that prorated prepaid interest for the month of December is gonna be a higher number because you're moving in earlier. If you were to move in mid-December, the number's lower, and late December, your closing costs will be the lowest anytime it's later in the month. Here's what happens the following month. So in January, you're not gonna have a mortgage payment. It's not that they skip a payment, but they skip the first month, and then your first payment will be in February. But in February, your interest for January, you being in the house, is being charged in arrears, which is backwards. So at closing, you're paying like in advance for the rest of the month, and then they skip the month following for a mortgage payment to then charge you in arrears the interest for the month after. That's complicated, so let me simplify it. A closing in December means your first mortgage payment is in February. So for those people that are like, I want to be in my new house in the new year, you could literally start buying a home in November, not have a December payment, and then have your first January payment right there. So now's the time to start putting offers out on those properties so that basically you can line it up for your New Year's plan versus waiting for later. Because when you wait until January and everybody has those New Year's resolution plans to buy homes, you're gonna have a lot of competition in the area, but not you. See, you're smarter. You watched this video to the end and you dropped a like on the video and a comment and you subscribed, and you're probably gonna call me this week so we can get you into a new house. But that's it for this video. I'm gonna get the drone up in the air to give you guys an aerial view of the property. And if you guys need help buying a house anywhere in Florida, consider me your resource. Peace.